While the world's attention remained fixed on Tesla, Toyota, and other prominent electric vehicle manufacturers, a statement from BYD's CEO sent shockwaves through the entire industry. The focus was BYD's next-generation Blade battery, with claims so extraordinary, they prompted widespread skepticism. Reportedly capable of recharging in mere minutes, this announcement targeted the most persistent barrier to EV adoption: charging time. The question now is whether this represents mere hyperbole or a genuine paradigm shift. The suspense is palpable, as BYD has directly confronted the primary consumer anxiety that has long shadowed the EV revolution. To appreciate the weight of this claim, one must understand BYD's unique journey. The company did not begin as an automaker. Founded in Shenzhen in 1995, BYD first established itself as a manufacturer of mobile phone batteries for clients like Nokia and Motorola. This foundational period provided an intimate, granular mastery of battery technology, encompassing safety, longevity, charging, and cost efficiency. In 2003, BYD made a bold pivot by acquiring a small car manufacturer, a move met with industry skepticism. Viewing the automobile through the lens of a battery product, however, proved prescient. The 2008 launch of its first plug-in hybrid, coupled with a strategic investment from Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, marked BYD's arrival as a serious player. Its philosophy was clear: the core of the EV battle is not the motor or the software, but the battery itself. This philosophy has yielded remarkable results. In 2024, BYD sold over 3.5 million new energy vehicles globally, a figure that includes both fully electric and plug-in hybrid models. This surpassed Tesla's sales of approximately 1.8 to 1.9 million fully electric cars, underscoring BYD's scale. In China, the world's largest EV market, BYD sold over 2.5 million units, becoming a ubiquitous presence in taxis, buses, and family vehicles. Its global expansion across Asia, Europe, and Latin America is underpinned by vertical integration. BYD produces its own batteries, motors, and electronics, granting it formidable cost control and pricing power. While Tesla excels in innovation and software, BYD competes on scale, affordability, and battery expertise. Therefore, when its CEO hints at a mint-charging battery, it is not an empty boast, but a declaration backed by decades of methodical preparation. The credibility of this new claim rests on the existing reputation of the current Blade battery. Introduced as a direct answer to pervasive safety concerns, the Blade battery derives its name from its long, thin structural cells. Its core advantage lies in its lithium iron phosphate, or LFP, chemistry, which is inherently more stable and less prone to thermal runaway than other common battery types. BYD famously demonstrated this with a nail penetration test, where the pierced battery neither caught fire nor exploded, a stark contrast to conventional batteries. This fire-resistant characteristic has built immense trust, particularly for commercial fleets and safety-conscious families. Beyond safety, the Blade battery offers exceptional longevity, enduring thousands of charge cycles with minimal degradation, and its design integrates seamlessly into a vehicle's structure, saving space and weight. Crucially, because BYD manufactures these batteries in-house, it achieves significant cost savings, allowing it to offer safer EVs at highly competitive prices. The Blade battery has thus become BYD's identity, a synonym for safe, durable, and practical electrification. This established trust is why the industry listens intently to BYD's next pronouncement. The forthcoming iteration of this technology is expected to be evolutionary, not revolutionary, reflecting BYD's consistent focus on safe, reliable progress. The key enhancements will likely revolve around advanced thermal management systems to evenly dissipate the intense heat generated during ultra-fast charging, preventing hotspots that degrade cells. Furthermore, we can anticipate an even more robust cell structure to withstand the physical stresses of rapid energy influx. The real-world goal is not a full 100% charge in 5 minutes, a potentially destructive and grid-straining feat, but rather acquiring enough energy for 150 to 200 kilometers of range in a few minutes. This addresses the most common use case, alleviating range anxiety for daily needs and enabling convenient long-distance travel without lengthy stops. However, a critical reality check is necessary. A battery's capability is only one part of the equation. Ultra-fast charging requires a symbiotic triad: the battery's chemistry, a high-power charging station, and a robust electrical grid capable of delivering that power on demand. In many regions, charging infrastructure remains a bottleneck. BYD's holistic approach, which often extends to developing charging solutions, suggests an awareness that winning the battery race requires simultaneously fostering the ecosystem that supports it. The global market impact of such a battery technology would be profound, multifaceted, and ultimately transformative, reshaping regional dynamics, competitive strategies, and the very timeline of worldwide electric vehicle adoption. In Europe, a market characterized by high environmental consciousness, yet persistently nagging practical concerns, the introduction of a definitively safe and rapidly charging battery could serve as the critical catalyst that moves EVs from a conscientious choice for early adopters to a mainstream inevitability for the average consumer. European drivers often face unique challenges: long cross-border travel distances, the performance degradation of batteries in cold climates, and the logistical headache of finding and using public chargers that may still be inconsistent in availability and speed. A battery that can reliably accept a substantial charge in the time it takes to enjoy a coffee break directly attacks the core of range anxiety, effectively decoupling long-distance travel from overnight charging stops. Furthermore, BYD's established reputation for safety, solidified by the fire-resistant Blade battery, addresses another significant, albeit sometimes unspoken, European concern regarding vehicle integrity and family security. By mitigating these two primary psychological and practical barriers simultaneously, such technology could unlock a massive wave of demand, accelerating adoption curves beyond current projections and forcing a rapid scaling of supporting ultra-fast charging infrastructure. Conversely, in the vast and diverse price-sensitive markets of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, the impact would pivot from alleviating anxiety to enabling access. Here, the equation is less about convincing consumers to switch from a reliable petrol car, and more about offering a financially and practically viable alternative to begin with. In these regions, EVs are often perceived as expensive novelties, confined to affluent urban enclaves. BYD's vertically integrated model, which allows for cost-controlled production of both the battery and the vehicle, is its master key. Coupling this inherent affordability with a durable, long-life battery capable of withstanding harsh climates and rough road conditions transforms the value proposition entirely. A battery that charges quickly using potentially less robust grid infrastructure by requiring shorter, high-power bursts rather than long drawn-out draws, and that promises a decade of reliable service without costly replacement, makes the EV a pragmatic tool for economic advancement. It becomes a viable option not just for personal use in megacities, but for taxi fleets in Bangkok, for small business owners in Nairobi, and for families in secondary cities across India and Brazil. This democratization of electric mobility could see EVs permeating the fabric of daily life in emerging economies, leapfrogging the traditional combustion engine progression in a manner similar to how mobile phones bypassed landlines. For Tesla and other established electric vehicle companies, BYD's steady and substantial progress represents a serious and profound challenge, one that operates not through dramatic proclamations, but through the quiet, relentless execution of a fundamentally different strategy. This challenge reframes the very priorities of the entire EV market. For over a decade, the industry narrative, heavily influenced by Tesla's pioneering approach, has been dominated by metrics like peak performance, which vehicle boasts the longest single-charge range, the most exhilarating 0 to 60 acceleration, or the most advanced autonomous driving features. BYD's ascent, powered by its Blade battery philosophy, subtly shifts this conversation toward a more pragmatic, universal concern: seamless integration into daily life. The paramount question for the average consumer evolves from how impressive is this machine, to how effortless is it to live with. BYD's focus on safe, rapid charging and cost-effective durability places convenience and practicality at the forefront. Furthermore, it would compel the entire automotive industry, from legacy manufacturers to EV startups, to deepen their investments radically in core battery, science, and manufacturing, moving beyond their traditional realms of design, assembly, and software to achieve mastery over the fundamental energy source, the cell itself. The battleground for the future of the automobile is thus being redefined from the driver's seat and the touchscreen to the